So I just redid everything, and turns out having an autoclick script with auto hotkey is very helpful for this kind of situation, because it makes this so much faster. Oh boy, took me less than like 5 minutes to get here again. Oof, crazy. Anyway, you make a choice. Spare me, please. Don't make me back, goddammit. Prince, if I may ask you to stay the sheriff's hand for a while longer. Kadir looks at the prince, awaiting her response. The sword is still hanging above you, threatening to fall at a moment's notice. Is there something you'd like to say, Miss Langley? Yes, if I may. At first the prince looks somewhat annoyed at the distraction, but she stays quiet for a while, measuring the mood in the room. Both elites suddenly look at you with aroused interest, some of them dismayed at not seeing the bloodshed, but all intrigued by an unexpected twist. The prince nods. Well, let's hear it. Sophie takes a few steps forward. All eyes are on her now, but Kadir's heavy hand on your shoulder makes it clear that you won't take advantage of the distraction. My prince, while the traditions are clear, I believe that the proper context should be observed, in addition to the letter of our laws. This fledgling is a burden, but with proper guidance, we could become an asset to our domain. And I understand you are volunteering to take this unruly child under your protection. Yes, I'm willing to give him a chance, and prove to the entire domain that they can adhere to our expectations. I will take nothing less than their full cooperation, naturally. Whispers can be heard again, an incredulous voice or two. A harsh, just behead the fucker! Some suppressed exclamations of surprise. Silence. I ask all of you to make note of this moment. I might be persuaded to bend one tradition in this child's favor, but another one will have to be enforced even more firmly in its stead. Until thy progeny shall be released, thou shalt command them in all things. Their sins are thine to endure. Are you certain of this responsibility you wish to shoulder, Miss Langley? I am willing to guide this fledgling and add a valuable ally to our sect in time of need, yes, but I would like to receive the right of destruction over them, if it pleases you. Give me a chance to prove myself, Prince. That's not part of the deal. I'm worth keeping alive, Prince. Give me a chance to prove myself. This remains to be seen. I do take note of your tenacity. See that it doesn't become a burden. I shall grant you what you ask. Let it be known, Sophie Langley of the clan of the Rose will become this fledgling's patron. We shall be considered like sire and child. Miss Langley will take full responsibility for them, and I shall grant her the right of destruction if she sees fit to use it. Let my intentions be clear, however. If I'm to turn a blind eye to one of our most important traditions, on this occasion I expect it to be beneficial to the Camarilla, substantially so. I hope you find this verdict satisfactory, Miss Langley. Of course, my prince, thank you. Very well. She turns to you. What is your name, child? Shouldn't I use a nickname? Will I even have a chance to use it? Josephine, prince. She nods. Welcome to Camarilla, Josephine. Now, this evening proved to be even more eventful than I anticipated, but with fledgling's fate decided, I believe our meeting here can conclude. Thank you all for appearing on such a short notice. Give my regards to those who couldn't make it. Consider a moment of your time before I let you return to your duties. Of course, Prince. He shoots you a side glance that doesn't leave much space for interpretation. You will be watched, you will be judged, and if need be, you will be punished. The two of them leave the gallery. Well, Josephine, I think we both already managed to significantly improve each other's evenings. But let's keep the ball rolling, shall we? I think we should have a toast to a new fruitful partnership. She raises her hand at one of the well-dressed concierges, who now have reappeared in the showroom to refill the guests' glasses. A conventionally handsome man approaches with a carafe of red liquid. The memory of throwing up in a safe house is still fresh in your mind, but the idea of what it could happen again is almost enough to reject the drink altogether. But there's no denying you want it, need it. I remember what Kadir said about your misadventure before getting in the car. Some of us have more delicate palates than others. Try to take a small sip. Still play. He pours it into two tall glasses. You can barely wait until he hands you a drink. Your attention is fully on it. The fact that it's blood, you're certain of it doesn't faze you this time. It's difficult to take just a sip, even though the taste is as foul as before you attempted to down the whole glass in one go. You wait before taking a second taste. You're glad you did. A feeling of heartburn signals what you can't keep it down. You spit it back inside the glass. Sophie looks on, intrigued. I'm not surprised. You know, caterers have very bourgeois ideas about what good blood should taste like. Well, you just need to keep trying. At Sophie's request, the concierge serves you 3 other variants of blood. The first 2 are as horrible and indigestible as before. Both ended up back in the glass within moments of you tasting them. Before the 3rd try, you are almost ready to throw the glass at the wall in frustration, but finally, this one is different. Instead of mud and decay, a surprisingly rich bouquet of tastes. You feel blissfully at ease, and Sophie takes notice. Ah, there it is. Jacob, would you kindly let us know who the donor was? Leave a bottle, please. The concierge nods and leaves again. You take another sip and another. You empty a glass, with all feeling in your stomach and head starts subsiding, but you still want more. Sophie pours you another glass and refills hers. She takes a sip. You have a curiously specific taste, Josephine. These are clover notes, with traces of caffeine, or that bittersweet aftertaste of melancholy. You taste nothing of the kind, but it doesn't matter. It's tasty, but not as delicious as it was last night, not as intoxicating, but just to silence the hunger somewhat though. Drinking blood puts you at ease. It's a strange realization. A man named Jacob comes back with a small card and leaves it with Sophie. She takes a quick look and passes it on to you. It's somebody's medical details. Office worker, male, Caucasian, 32 years old, blood type AB, RH, whatever. Blue eyes, brown hair, no history of substance abuse, New Jersey native. Might one of these details be what makes a difference? Now that we have picked the right bouquet for your palate, these documents should be useful in identifying your exact taste. Should it be, whatever. But I believe you have more questions now. Perhaps we should start with those related to substance. How much do I have to drink? Where do you get the blood? How will I know what I can drink? These difficulties of mine, how do I navigate that? How will I know what kind of blood I can drink? It's a tricky question. I believe you will have to trust your instinct on this. With time you will know the tragic extent of my failings. You should be able to narrow down your particular preference. Blood that you reject is of course of no value to you, and it's a horrible waste. No amount of it will ever sate your hunger completely, but every little sip counts. If you're frugal or forced by the circumstances, you can survive many nights without a single drink, but it's risky and will tempt the beast but is part of our curse. It will take some time to find the right balance. Tomorrow I shall take you hunting and we will explore this topic further, but you should be good for now. What will you expect of me? You mentioned a beast. Let's go with beast. What beast you mentioned? Is it a metaphor or... Oh, it's quite real, although not strictly physical sense. It lives in all of us, our nature and hunger manifest. Those more religious among us connected to biblical Cain, the rage of a first murder caused by God, seething in all of his descendants. I, however, am a child of enlightenment. Not that it makes my struggle any easier. I have to be wary like any other kindred in the city and beyond. Individual kindred each have a unique relationship to their beast. What yours is going to be remains to be seen. But you do need to keep it under control. Each outburst endangers not just you, but also the masquerade. The concierge returns, asks for permission to intrude, which Sophie gives with a polite smile and leans in to whisper in her ear. You note that the gallery is now almost empty. I'm being told that the gallery is just about to close, but we still have quite a lot to discuss. We'll go to one of my apartments. My jalopy is waiting downstairs. Come. The smile she puts on could tip any negotiations towards her favor. Her words are like honey, and she makes it impossible to take your eyes off her. You're under her spell, momentarily. Sophie leads you to a luxurious Rolls Royce and invites you to sit in the back. The chauffeur, a broad-shouldered, clean-shaven, middle-aged man, starts driving immediately. Where did we leave off? Oh, I believe I started telling you more about our customs. I've heard the prince refer to our traditions, but chief among them is a masquerade. As you might have guessed, gathered from us assembling at a niche gallery after closing time, our comings, goings, and doings tend to be somewhat secretive. We do not advertise our existence. We allow myths and modern fiction to morph and muddle the facts. So to vast majority of To the vast majority of kind, they remain bedtime stories and pop culture icons. Say, is that one television show about a vampire angel still popular? You shake your head in confusion. She shrugs and continues talking, looking a little bit more dejected than before. Our clandestine ways help us remain safe, allow us to explain away the occasional trip-up to the rational minds of 21st century humanity and dictate much of our interactions with mortals. What's the risk as you drive a vampire too? Wait, what about my career then? So what you're saying is who I have become must remain a secret. What about my job then, my career? Is it just over just like that? Not necessarily, but you will need to step lightly. It goes without saying that you will need an explanation for your disappearance. And it will be a few more nights before I let you go. I let you go it alone. That was weird. You might be one of a kindred now, but that comes with some caveats. For one, sunlight burns us. That's why we rest during the day. You felt it. More like being dead than being dormant, isn't it? Some more folk-related threats are just legend, or occasionally minor nuisance. Garlic running water, even religious symbols don't repel us, unless the wielder is uniquely pure and godly. Stakes through the heart, though, that's something to avoid. They do not destroy, but they do paralyze, which under the right circumstances can be the same thing. That's a reason to have somebody like my trusted driver Gregory making sure you're safe when you drift away. You have many enemies, and they often know their advantages lies with the daylight. How can you trust your driver? The vampires with watch each other's backs? How can you trust your driver? Your driver must know who he works for, right? I mean, he's right there. Surely he can hear everything we're saying. How can you trust him to keep your secrets? His loyalty is assured and partaking of my blood, but his loyalty extends beyond just this dependency, as I'm sure he'll be happy to tell you if you ask. It's a nice change of pace. A little sex supplies social interactions aplenty, but it doesn't really encourage counting on someone. Support given in exchange for favors, yes, that's more like it. Long-term solidarity does occur in the Camarilla, but we are a very politicized organization by necessity. Loyalty is to your sire, to your prince, and to the sect. When you're in Elysium, like we were tonight, the sect can appear to be a monolith. The reality is more complex. Outside of the official gatherings, shady deals and a quid pro quo mentality reigns supreme. She seems to be lost in thought and falls silent for a while, leaving you to ponder all the things you've learned tonight. It still feels absolutely unreal, but as a piece after piece of knowledge falls into place, the image becomes almost like an entirely logical jigsaw puzzle. Whatever you wouldn't believe on your own, you've witnessed. Many questions swarm your thoughts, but one you keep returning to is what your place in this new reality should be. The car stops and you are in the city, in front of an old but well-renovated apartment building. We're here. Would you like to see your lodgings? Is this another parking lot room? Do I get a loyal servant? After all the talk of servants and safety, I'll be disappointed if there's nobody waiting there to make me coffee in the morning. We can discuss finding you Jeeves at some time in the future. For now, rest assured that this place is safe and adapted to our needs, as you'll see. Come upstairs. She leads you through a small hall with a night guard who greets Miss Langley with a good evening, and you take her stairs up to the second floor. Sophie opens the door to room 209. Inside are all the amenities you could expect from a modern apartment, and some you wouldn't have deemed necessary just the previous night, including thick blinds on the windows. Back room has a comfortable-looking bed and thick steel door with several sturdy-looking locks, but no windows. Well, how do you like it? That's great, thank you. What, can I get another? This is great, thank you. I'm glad. Make yourself at home. Tomorrow I will take you hunting and discuss the blood in more detail. I'll let you get comfortable. The keys are by the television set. I will come pick you up tomorrow night. Use the back room for rest. You can lock the doors just in case. It stings a bit when she leaves. It's like the room suddenly became a few shades dimmer. You inspect the kitchen, hoping to find something to drink. Nothing. No regular food ever. Feels strange that Kadir could be a more thoughtful host than your new sire, even only in that respect. You briefly wonder if a sheriff might have a hidden side. With nothing left to do, you lie on the couch with a TV playing in the background for company. Columbo reruns, Kojak reruns. President of the United States got himself into serious trouble again. And now he got himself out of trouble again. But it's starting on over each other about things that seemed a little less insignificant just 2 days ago. He started drifting off, reflecting about another night of confusing conversations and worldview-shattering revelations. How many more before you finally understand what happened to you and what you're supposed to do now? You keep coming back to the life you left behind, the people you should contact, the things you want to pick up from your apartment. You wonder when you'll have a chance to forever. As you start to feel the same tiredness what made you drift into a cold sleep last night, you settle into the back room. The bed is comforting, the lack of windows less so. You have a light bulb on. Looking at it, you realize it's the closest you'll ever come to staring at the sun on a breezy summer day again. A wave of melancholy overwhelms you. A few minutes later, your consciousness fades and you take a plunge in the darkness again, sinking.